how we got Eric Briner's boat to do that. Oh my goodness. Oh God. I was half asleep all day. Just... I know. I'm in my boat! Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, January, what is today? January 9th, I think? Yeah, January 9th, Tuesday. I'm on my way down to Atascadero to go visit my buddies Mike Chadwick and Regina Galecki. We are headed down kind of in the Atascadero area today. It's 4 a.m. We've got a busy, long day ahead of us, and I'll fill you guys in when we get on the road a little later. Now that I am kind of awake, I can explain a little bit more what's going on. So my buddy Fast Loud Photography, Eric Briner, bought a 19-foot Hardin Marine Caribbean jet boat that we did a bunch of work to and enjoyed last summer on the Sacramento River on July 4th. Well, fast forward a couple of months later, and come to find out the block had a really nice window inside of one of the cylinders. I think it was cylinder number 7. It's nice to finally come to a conclusion on what the problem was. But it leaves us with another problem. We don't have a motor for the boat. So a bunch of buddies got together and decided that we were gonna make this thing happen and get a motor, tear into it, freshen it up, and put it in the Hardin Marine so that Eric Briner has a boat again this summer. So right now I'm in King City, California, and I'm on my way up to Mike Chadwick's place because he's got a 454 and a motorhome that he says that we can take. We just have to pull it. So I think we're gonna get into a bunch of shenanigans here today after we get there. Okay, we made it. It is like what is it? 9:30?
I think somewhere around there, 9:30 or so.
This is Chadwick, everybody.
10 o'clock.
It's 10 o'clock. Say hi, Chadwick.
Hi, Chadwick.
You're very famous. You're very famous online, by the way. This is Regina. Where are you? There you are.
Hello.
And her gorgeous 66 Mustang that we're drooling over right now. And it's very bright today. All right, so we're gonna climb into this motorhome right here in front of us and start pulling this motor out. And it's gonna be the base of the new motor for Eric's Hardin Marine. So I haven't been in this thing. Chadwick says it should be relatively easy to do. So I guess we'll see. I don't know. Oh man. Pray for rain, fill the lake. I can get behind that.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Oh my goodness. Huh. Oh yeah. Oh boy. So I don't know how do we what do you, I don't know. How do you plan on getting that out?
We're going to cut everything we can and just yank it out the top, probably.
Okay. So are we going to make a hole right here?
Yeah,
so
if we have to. Because this thing's going, no, well, we're going to rip this thing out to some homeless dude after we're done with it. So, it shouldn't be too bad. Look, the bars are still good. It's got a red light on it.
Dude, I know. I was looking at that. There's a light on. I wonder how long that thing's just it's been
I don't
on.
know.
Yeah.
See?
Maybe we should find a way to disconnect the battery first.
It's a selling point.
It runs.
It runs. The light's on.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna make a plan and set the camera up and get rolling. So. is a Gen 5. It's a Gen 5, but it has a fuel pump boss.
Yeah, it does.
Don't they usually not?
They usually don't, but it is a GM replacement motor from what I was told.
Interesting.
Because it is Gen 5, 6.
Yeah, look at the timing cover.
So it's probably an early Gen 5.
Interesting.
Interesting.
The plot thickens.
You know, it's really interesting how we're going to get out the door.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. Are we doing it? Oh my God.
Woo!
It worked.
That's Lockwood style. Go out.
Yeah, dude.
We're just staring at it. We're just staring at it.
That was badass. I'm so pumped. That was cool.
Look, we fucked up the motorhome though. What did we do?
Yeah, I know.
It's still got light going.
It looks like a crime scene in there. Look at that. Look at that, dude. That's insane. Wow. Original oil filter.
Dude, we should throw that air cleaner in your truck and just put your box. I dare you.
Hey, stick his chrome scoop back in here. Swap them. Hey man, this chrome scoop's gotta stay.
You gotta stay, man.
You gotta donate to
you
every.
You gotta donate to the fucking charity. We didn't even break a spark plug.
I know. I was just.
All the spark plugs are in there.
The front pulley's a little crooked now, but no.
No, it's fine.
No, I'm kidding.
Ain't mine.
I don't know where it landed, but it did all right.
All right, so mission accomplished. We were successfully able to pull this big block Chevy out of Mike Chadwick's motorhome. And thanks to the help of Regina Galecki with our tunnel vision photography and Mike Chadwick, 026 Chadwick Racing, we were able to basically get this thing done out of the motorhome and strapped up in the bed of the truck. And the next plan of attack is to pull the thing apart. So we're here, engine room, and it's time to pull this pig apart and see what we got going on. So she's a mess. There's a lot of crap on this thing that we don't really need anyways because it came out of a motorhome. So we're gonna strip everything and get down to bare bones and see where we're at. We picked up Eric Briner's motor from the machine shop and it is ready to be built. We got the crankshaft polished, we've got the engine block hot dip tanked, new cam bearings, freeze plugs are in it. We're ready to rock and roll with installing the short block. The heads should be done a little later this week. So we're gonna put the POV mount on with the GoPro and we're gonna get to work on installing the bearings and the crankshaft first. Move on from that and jump into painting the block, which is going to be a Chevy orange to match our valve covers. So that's what we're going to do next. guess what we got? Piston Rings came in. Super pumped for that. We've been waiting about a week. To recap, basically the Piston Rings that I had ordered in the first place were good for a big block Chevy, but they only worked for a Mark IV big block Chevy. There's 3 different generations of the 454. Mark IV, Gen 5, and Gen 6. This bad boy is a Gen 6. So our piston rings didn't fit because the piston in a Gen 5 and a Gen 6 is different than a Mark IV. So we went back to our parts store, picked up the right ones, and they just came in, or ordered them actually, and they just came in. So now we're getting ready to measure and install them, basically. Our goal today is to try and get the whole motor put together so that way we can get it saran wrapped and ready to rock and roll. It is Wednesday, and I leave Tuesday for Mike Chadwick's house with this motor and Eric's boat. So let's get to work, and I'll show you guys what we're doing here. All right, so we had to take a break because of 2 reasons. Number 1, my piston ring compressor, I can't seem to find the tool. It's not a hex wrench, it's a little square wrench that looks like a hex key that goes inside to tighten or loosen the piston ring compressor, and that is stripped. So I'm gonna have to go get a new one of those, not a big deal. And also one of the cylinders, you guys probably noticed it in the camera, but you can see that the piston rings, the oiling rings specifically, are crooked and bent, right? So I put them in and I gave it obviously a smack with a mallet, not the hammer. And it didn't feel right. It kept going, but it seemed a little more tight than what I would anticipate. So I pulled it back out, and sure enough, it had an issue, right? So if you ever have questions at all when you're putting together a motor, they have pretty decent tolerances. You got to be pretty on the money. You can be a little bit loose with building it. I mean, if you've never built one before, as long as you follow directions and instructions, you can do it in your garage, right? But it's stuff like this that people will be like, it's fine, and then just leave it, right? Don't do that. If you have questions, pull the part back out, inspect, analyze, and investigate. And then, you know, you can potentially confirm that you don't have a problem, or you can verify that something is wrong. In our situation, the oiling piston rings were. So we'll be right back. We're gonna get this motor buttoned up on the short block and hopefully finish the rest of it today. We finally made it to Chadwick's Place. If you guys don't know, Mike Chadwick with Chadwick Racing. What is it technically?
Chadwick Racing.
Yeah, Chadwick Racing, number 026. He runs the blown gas flat class. Ricky Bobby, this is my buddy.
What up?
So as you guys saw from the beginning, we were here back in November pulling this motor out of the motorhome, and you saw this guy kick it out the fucking front door. And here it is now in the garage where it kind of all started, and we're pretty much buttoning it up. So the last time you guys saw this motor, I was holding a set of piston rings that were kind of not the right shape. So since then, we've gotten the piston rings in stock. I did not have time to finish this motor at my shop, so Chadwick said, pack your shit and come down. So we're gonna try to get this thing together in the boat, running, fired up today. We're gonna try to test and tune tomorrow, and then we're gonna party and have a good time this weekend. So let's get to it. We've got a piston to install. I believe that's number 8 that needs to go in. And then we gotta put the intake on, the cylinder head on, obviously not in that order, but the rest of the way to get the motor complete. Setting up a mechanical gauge on the engine so that way we can keep track of what's going on when it first fires up. Luckily, we're reusing the cam out of the motor, which is just an original stock Gen 6 camshaft. And the reason why is because hydraulic flat tappets in this day and age suck. The industries just can't seem to get their shit together. So instead of trying to buy one and take our chances in a break-in going foul, we're just gonna reuse what we've got because we know it works and everything looked good. And so we're setting up a mechanical gauge so that way we can check and make sure. So check this out. Mike is manually priming the engine with a drill and a special tool that basically turns the oil pump underneath and it creates oil pressure. So right now we're at 65 pounds of pressure.
And technically you're supposed to turn the motor over too when you're doing it. So it lubricates, helps lubricate the top end.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so what he's saying is what we're trying to do is get all the oil from the bottom of the oil pan and make it come up and fill the cavities that it's normally supposed to run. So what you're supposed to do is do this at TDC for a little bit and then spin the motor over 180 and then that changes the valves and it gets other valves that have been dry lubricated. But we're not gonna do that. That's dumb. We ain't gonna do that.
That's dumb.
Nobody does that. Where are we at? It is like 9 o'clock on Tuesday night and we have officially finished the motor thanks to you and you and you, right?
And you?
Yeah.
And you.
I was half asleep all day just doing the same thing on repeat, thinking I was being busy, but honestly.
But thank God your alter ego was here and helped out.
Yeah, I guess. So the Drew Fab product is actually totally bolted on. This is the front motor plates that we actually filled out a motor sheet that he asks for that gave the specific dimensions for this boat for the front and the rear of the engine plates. We also have the angle aluminum and the 4-degree feet attached, as well as the rail backings that go on the outside of the stringers. And the kit all buttoned up and put together just looks amazing. He does a killer job. And honestly, with Eric asked for this color combination, and it fits really well with the clear anodized metal that Drew put together for us. So what's next? I think we're gonna probably lift this puppy up and get it mocked up down in between the stringers, right?
Yeah, that's the next step.
Cool. So yeah, that's the next step. We're gonna clear out the bilge area so that we can get this thing mocked up, and we're gonna show you guys how easy this kit is to install. So it's day 2, it's about 2 o'clock, I think, maybe 1:30, and we've pretty much just finished everything. We've checked we haven't checked for spark technically, but the motor does turn over, fuel pump kicks on, bilge, diverter, etc., etc. It all functions. So theoretically now we should be able to kick the key on, let the fuel pump do its job and fill the carburetor bowls up, give it a couple squirts, and she should light off. All right, let's see what happens. All right, so we just spent the last hour trying to figure out what the hell was going on, including a phone call to MSD, which, by the way, the dude was actually really helpful. He got straight to the point, told me what to check for, and that kind of led us to our issue. So the motor wasn't rotating enough, and the starter that we had in there was just taking a ton of voltage out from the MSD ignition box. The MSD ignition box uses a little red wire to basically tell it to turn on, and it requires at least, I think you said 11 volts for it to send a spark through everything.
10.5, I think.
Yeah, 10.5 volts or something like that. Yeah. So we pulled the starter out because every time we'd hit the starter, that number would drop to like 7 volts, give or take. So we swapped it with a starter that Mike had in his Sanger flat bottom, and lo and behold, boom, got spark. So now we're gonna hook everything back up, and actually I think it already is, right?
We don't have the 6AL mounted,
but it'll still at least fire,
right?
Theoretically.
Theoretically, hopefully.
I'm trying it again.
All right, ready. No, but we're gonna have to get a timing light on it. So.
Ha! It started. First time at this lake. It's pretty sick. We are getting everything set up. I can just already tell that this weekend's gonna be insane. There's like 9 easy ups that we've posted up, and boats are already showing up. Check this out. We got to set the timing now, which means that we need to just put the jet pump in the water so that the motor doesn't get hot, and that also that the pump doesn't run dry. And we're gonna check the timing. The timing is locked out, which means that whatever it's sitting at idle is what it's gonna sit at 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 RPM, and so on and so forth. So we're gonna fire the boat up, make sure it runs and idles on its own, and then we're gonna check timing.
Well, let's get this thing in the water. Let's go.
Yep, cool. We're gonna unhook, put it on the dock. I'm gonna pull this truck out and see what's up. Say a silent prayer for me.
Okay. Oh shit! Let's go! Woo!
He made it! He made it! Dude, I love you, bro. Thank you for this. Nah, it's all good. Super big shout out to everybody that helped with this thing, man. Everybody. For real. We need a list right now. Let's take a little ride first. Oh my God, for real. So we're gonna go hit the water. This dude's been itching to drive this thing all day. Yes. You knocker. Dude, I'm in my boat! I know! I'm in my boat! Dude, what is it again?
This is a 1961 Sanger Ski Hydra.
Dude, this is crazy.
It's one of the it's one of 7 that they made in 1961. It's the very first hydros that Jack made.
Really?
Yeah, this was the first hydro mold that he put together. The sister boat of this was White Mist 3, which set the record in blown fuel off the trailer that year. Yeah, it was the first one.
With a big block Chevy and twin turbos. Well, we made it. It's the end of the weekend. It's Sunday. Happy Father's Day, by the way. Woohoo! Hell yeah, happy Father's Day, happy Father's Day, happy Father's Day. And look at that gem sitting there, man. Eric, tell us how you feel.
Man, overwhelmed. Can't believe everything these guys did for me, and all the effort. And it's not just about the money, it's the elbow grease and the time they all dedicated to this boat. It's just overwhelming to me. So I appreciate having all you guys in my corner like this. I was expecting to sell my boat. Now I'm sitting here driving it. So that's pretty awesome. And then I also want to thank Bill for starting off the whole shenanigans by calling this guy without me knowing.
Yeah,
I'm complaining to him about selling the boat, and then Bill's in his other ear going, oh, we're gonna get that boat running.
And then these two are in the back corner in the motorhome like, no, he can't sell it. Nobody's selling anything.
And apparently by this time in the video, we've already seen the removal of the boat motor, which I haven't even seen yet, but I hear is really good. So
pretty good.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks, man.
You're welcome,
Appreciate you guys.
You're welcome.
Come on.
Of course.
And happy Father's Day to this guy. And yeah, thank you guys.
It's been a fun experience.
Yeah.
Dude, this was a blast. It really brought everybody together, and having an ending like this at a badass, I don't even want to call it an event, but just a hangout.
Yeah.
I mean, dude,
look,
how can you be mad at this?
Pan this way. Look at that.
Look at that. It's amazing.
I'm in good company.
You fit right in, man.
Woo!
Finally
in front of the camera in a boat, not behind the camera, watching everybody else have fun.
You're actually part of
You're
this.
in front of the camera this
you
time.
You are a boater.
Yeah, I'm selling
Not
my
just the
cameras. Cameras for sale.
I'll take it.
He needs more horsepower.
Well, the greatest,
Right?
the greatest thing is a smile on your face when you were in it, you know? That's, to me, that made me smile.
I got bugs in my teeth from my first drive.
Yeah, I feel like I was smiling equally as wide as you when we were going for that debut run on Friday, bro.
And it was sunset. Man, I felt a little love for you at the moment.
Oh, man.
Hearing him getting choked up on the phone, I don't know who he was talking to, one of you two, and hearing him getting choked up on the phone over it a couple months ago. Yeah, that was sentimental.
He was only crying a little.
A little.
The great thing, though, is at the end of the day, the camaraderie that this builds between everybody is just, that's, in my opinion, what it's about, man. Having nothing but smiles on everybody's faces, regardless of what happens and who gets tickets. It's amazing. Like, everybody walks away smiling, having a good time, and saying, when's the next one?
Yeah.
So I'm super thankful for everybody here. Y'all are my family, man.
Our family.
More than I can express.
That's
right.
Absolutely.
So here's the thing. If you liked what you saw, make sure to like and subscribe. We got a couple of other channels that you need to look at. West Coast River Outlaws, Fast Out Photography.
Our tunnel vision photography.
Yeah, and then AMP.
And Chadwick Racing.
And Chadwick Racing.
Can't forget
We're just going to
Chadwick
make you a list, don't
and now,
worry.
Kirsten, you're the new cameraman. I'm going to go boating.
That works.
Right
WCRO.
Yeah, it's time to go.